Heating and Air Coach's Corner. Fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. And joining me is Ben Caudill, the head coach of the Stewarts Creek Redhawks. A tough loss last night. You had some opportunities, Coach, but you just couldn't get the consistency, I guess. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but they played hard.
Yeah, I think, this was a week for us as a program, after the, Saturday finish last week. That was just a very, abnormal weekend as coaches. You kind of want to have a routine, and it was just totally different, this past week. And I tell you, John, I was really proud of how our players, jumped in the weight room on Monday morning. I thought we had a great week of practice, and this was a week that, we all as coaches knew would, show us a lot about our team. And it was a week we decided, this is going to be how we work and how we go about our business as a team. And really proud of how our coaching staff has, never been more united than we are right now, and certainly focused on helping our team improve moving forward.
It was a strange game. I've just got to tell you, it was a strange game. You had if it weren't for bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. I mean, it was one of those kind of first halves. I thought. Yeah,
we went for it on fourth down there, didn't get it. I would call it again right now. We came off a block too early, and we got a big 200-pound back that we just. We didn't execute on that play, but on 4th and 1, I expect us to get a yard, and I do it again right now. And outside, John, they scored on the first play. They called a post on the first play, and outside the first play, we outgained Rockville last night. Yeah. And I told our kids after the game, I said, you take that first play out, which was a great throw and a great call. It was basically a 10-10 game in the middle of the fourth quarter, and with 5 minutes left. John, it was 17-10 with 5 minutes left in the game, and we blocked a field goal, and we had 12 on the field. And of all the programs I've ever coached in, we've never spent more time. I've never been a part of a program that spends more time on field goal block than we do. And, that is something that I, as our leader, 100% own. And, we've got a chance right there to get the ball with 5.5 minutes left at, near, the 40-50 yard line. And instead, they move it up 5 yards, miss a field goal, and we get the ball back at the 20.
Yeah.
And so it's just.
That was the kind of game it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the way it started and all the things, to have that field goal blocked. And our 12th guy was 5 yards from the sideline. So it was, kind of a normal look. That's an example of just, how there's no such thing as a small thing.
Yeah.
And that's something that I told our team is on me, and that I'm gonna make sure, along with every phase of the game, that we continue to improve. But the fight and the heart of our guys, falling down 17-0, and you mentioned field position. We had a chance, to change field position there, in the first quarter, and had a very, tough, fumble that I thought our quarterback was down on, and it ended up, being about a 35-yard loss, and it was just kind of one of those nights that really, until the third quarter, we really couldn't flip the field position. But, you got to give a lot of credit, I think, to Rockville. John, I think, when you see a bunch of single-digit D linemen on the field, those guys are only playing one side of the ball.
Yeah,
And that shows you when you watch film that they've got great depth on both sides up front. And, but I tell you, John, I think holding them to, I think it was about 60 yards rushing, a county opponent on the road, you got to find a way to pull it out. And I think that we did a tremendous job of stopping their run, and Coach Counts wants to run the ball. And I thought we did a tremendous job of that. Couldn't be any more pleased with our effort in that regard. And, I'm going to make sure that, we work hard to, get the other areas of our team up to speed.
They did a good job of stopping your run, which made it more difficult. But I thought really in the third quarter, you were starting to click. I mean, it was starting to go, but there was a lot of everybody was on the 40-yard line. It seemed like for the whole quarter. But but then you got going. I thought the running game got going, and being down by 7 points with that amount of time left, if it works out one play, and which makes me get to the question I'm trying to ask badly, but I'm going to try to ask it. You said that it takes the small things. It takes 11 guys, and to me that is so difficult. When you really think about it, there's 16, 15, 16, 17-year-old guys, everybody being on the same page. It happened to Rockville. It happened to you guys. That is such a unique thing that doesn't happen in any other sport, I would think. Yeah,
I think, for 3.5 quarters outside the first play on defense, and, they scored one or two there late on a big play. I don't think our defense can play much better at all. Coach Burnham, I think, is doing a phenomenal job with our defensive line. We got 2 sophomores on our defensive line. We've got 3 sophomores on offense that are not playing like sophomores. They're playing like savvy veterans, and I think it shows us that from start to finish, every play matters. Every play matters, and I think I think there's having said, as well as we played those 3.5 quarters, there's some things that to me matter a whole lot is fixing mistakes from previous weeks, and our defensive pass interferences are really hurting us in crucial moments. On 3rd and 8, when the ball's nowhere even catchable, where we, have bad technique or aren't aligned right, and other little things that fans might not notice. But we were not aligned right on a tipped ball last night, where if we were aligned right, I 100% know it's a pick. And that's one thing I learned working with Ron Crawford is, it takes 0 talent to get lined up right, and those are things that, we've got to continue to emphasize as coaches, and I know we will. And I think it says a lot about our defense at how well they played for the overwhelming majority of the game, and really keeping us in the game.
The Brown was limited to rushing, but he did get a touchdown. Kingston McQueen had a team-leading 6 tackles, and then added 25 offensive yards. So those were 2 standouts. And Dallas Johnson had 3 tackles and an interception to go with 2 receptions. So both sides of the ball, they were trying to do it.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Kingston. He came to me this week, and he's a two-way guy for us. And he asked me what he felt like he could do to improve. Which, as a coach, that's a question you love to hear. And I'm so proud of Kingston. And another name I want to mention that I couldn't be any more proud of is Daniel Johnson.
Yes.
Who just this past week, John, we hadn't done this in a few years, but we felt like as coaches we needed to do this for this season. He was named a permanent captain this week, and everything he does, the way he walks in the cafeteria, the way he conducts himself in the locker room, there is not a person at our school that has a negative thing to say about him. And he is the leader of our team right now, and I couldn't be any more proud of. I thought he played his best game of his career last night.
He was everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, his name was called so many times.
Yep, just plays so much bigger than he is. And, I could not be any more proud of the leadership that he showed this week. He's a permanent captain moving forward, and I couldn't be any more proud of him.
I know you wanted to give Davis a little bit more time to throw the football last night, and I know you'll be working on that a little bit. Overall, though, I thought he did a good job hanging in there, and he was under duress quite a bit, and that I guess that's credit to Rockville a little bit there.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm telling you, John, I couldn't be any more proud of RC. I thought our players, this week really rallied around him. All our coaches would say that, and wanted to support him, having been thrust into that role. And here's the thing, you never really know when your opportunity is going to come.
Right.
Due to injury, due to anything. And, he was really hard on himself last night. Because he's a competitor, and he wants to be right. But if you see John, this is who he is. On punts in the 4th quarter, he's also our long snapper. And he's the one that's making tackles down there. He's the first one down there getting to that returner. And, as a coach, that's that's one thing you love to see. And for me personally, I played quarterback and I was our long snapper in high school, and that was a challenge I gave to myself. So when I see that in him, I think it embodies everything that we want to be as a team and as a staff.
Ben Caudill is our guest. Before I let you go, I know you got Riverdale coming up.
Yep.
That's at home, correct?
It is.
And you guys brought a huge crowd last night.
Yep.
I thought away game, and I heard you talk about that many times. And when the game was in the pregame, I was looking up and go, they're not going to show up too much. Oh gosh, they packed the place. I mean, they all came at one time, I guess. But
yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that, and it was something that I was going to certainly close with as well. Is that's something that it's all the time. You know, when the band rolls in, and our community always shows out for us, which means so much. And listen, I John, this means a lot to me. There's Stewarts Creek's been a school for 13 years. I've been there for 7, and no football coach has coached at Stewarts Creek longer than me. It means a lot to me. I'm working as hard as I ever have to try and put our football team in the best situation, and I'm very excited and believe in this bunch. I believe in our coaches and appreciate how unified they've been, and what's been a very tough last 6 days with the lightning delay and certainly the last few minutes last night that didn't go our way. But how we respond is going to be of the utmost importance, and I know that's going to be the case. And real quick about Riverdale, so impressed with them. I think their quarterback, for a sophomore, the way he sees the field is so impressive. He's very cerebral, and I think he's mature beyond his years, and they fly around on defense. And Coach Kreisky has got a tremendous football team, and I think they're very well put together in all 3 phases. And the opportunity to me, John, I think to host what was certainly one of the top 2 teams in all of 6A last year. We get to host those guys, and you want to go up against the best, and that's the opportunity our team has this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a long road, and you're just at the beginning of it. So good luck the rest of the way. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, but good luck against Riverdale.
Yes, sir, and I want to give a shout-out to my son here. I missed his baseball game last night, but Max got the game ball. And,
awesome.
He's got his Braves hat on this morning for you, John.
Well, that really makes me more important. That puts him above you now in my hierarchy of friendship right here. Got a Braves cap on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ben, good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. That's going to be, I guess, coming up. Rockville is next here on the Prentice Allsup. This portion of the show, Dr. Automotive, is the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com.